Yesterday you spent a lot of time probably thinking about the visual aspects of your poster, what colors you want in the back. So today we're going to talk about technical writing, how to organize that information. And a lot of you are dealing with a lot of complex information if you're advanced in your research. And so what we're going to do is talk to you today about how to organize that information where it fits on a poster. Anybody from middle school, hopefully, to advanced genius level can read it, and you still get your point across in a small amount of space. Okay? So first, what is technical writing? Technical writing is the type of writing where the author is approaching a subject that probably requires the third, the explanation. Here's what I'm doing, here's why it's important, here's how I did it, here's what I'm looking at to do it, etc., etc. And you're squeezing this in maybe 30 seconds. So technical writing differs from academic writing, different characteristics, and has a completely different purpose. The people visiting your posters are not going to spend 30 minutes reading what you have to say and then reading 30 minutes for what the other person has to say, and so on and so forth. They need to be able to hit this information pretty fast. So if you're not writing effectively, then you could be shooting yourself in the foot. So it needs to be straightforward and very easy to understand. And a good thing to know, a good technical writer can make a difficult task easy and explain a complex piece of information fairly quickly. So you're talking about academic writing versus technical writing. Your big project when you hit graduate school, or you probably have one at your level now, pages, hundreds if not tens of space, the time to go into lots of detail or substantial detail. This is when you use academic writing. If you're writing and I think as a person in humanities and history, my thesis graduate level, but journal articles are substantially smaller than your larger projects, but you're still using academic writing. Newspaper articles, web page blogs, you're shrinking that number writing because, again, your reader's more than likely sitting down, they're in a relaxed situation, they can just take their time and absorb the information. You still have to be selective about what you put in it. So it's when you get to posters and PowerPoints is where the technical aspect comes through. Right? So you probably notice I'm doing most of the talking, most of what you're absorbing hopefully should be coming from my voice. The object is to put minimal words up here, enough for you to take notes, but I don't want you to spend time reading this instead of listening to me. If that was the case, I could just sit in the back, click this button, and just wait for you all to, all right, turn the page, turn the page. So yeah, technical writing comes in handy with PowerPoints and especially posters. By the end of this presentation, you'll be able to understand the differences between academic and technical writing so that you can apply either or depending on what your written medium that you're approaching in the future, especially in grad school when you'll be using a lot more varied ones. You'll also be able to organize your information according to that medium and be able to convey your major points, key information to. So, characteristics of academic versus technical writing. So when you write academically, you're going to use long, complete sentences. You want to keep those concise as possible, especially if you're writing in English, but you're still going to use descriptive sentences, complete ideas, to convey what you need to convey. You're also going to need substantial background information, right? I don't shoelace if you're not presenting a background on why that's necessary, right? So with academic writing, you have enough space to tell about why what you're doing is important. Hence the extensive detail, and you'll probably go into lots of jargon usage. What did I learn yesterday? Hydroxyapatase or something? Yeah, it's I still can't wrap my head around it, but I couldn't tell you what that. I know it's in chicken eggs. If you paid me, I couldn't really explain that to you if you paid me. But you know, if the people in your field more than
like the technical words,
technical terms that only you and your colleagues would understand. So if how people in the military like to throw out like a billion, right? I just left the GRC and I went to the AISS and they're next to the AASS and blah, 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 blah. If you're not part of this community, all of that just sounds like alphabet soup, right? So you want to avoid those situations and make it possible for everybody to understand you wherever they're coming from. Academic writing might also use images, but they're not necessary because you're putting that detail in your writing. So a graph might make it better for visual learners to understand what you're trying to say, but you don't really need a graph to say that some statistic went up 30% over a month's time, right? Seeing it makes it better, but you don't need it. Technical writing, on the other hand, involves complete ideas but short sentences. Complete ideas but short sentences. Bullet points are not always complete sentences, but they complete the idea. Very little to no jargon is used, but it's going to be really important that you rely on visual to use this medium, because you're leaving out a lot of, by necessity, a lot of detail that your reader might need to understand.
Miss Carlyn.
Questions?
Oh, she was asking about what jargon is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just over.
All right, sweet. So.
Can you go back, please?
Oh, sure.
I didn't finish the copy.
Okay. Any questions about this? Pretty straightforward, huh?
What is release?
Relies. It depends on. Say depende? Or depender? I don't know. Well, is that right? Puedo hablar español,
Sí.
pero yeah. No puedo comprender otros cuando me hablan en español. So yeah.
Está mejor así. It's better.
Okay.
You can speak.
Thank you. Yeah, see, that's what happens. Like, huh? What? Deer in headlights. Especially if you talk fast. Everybody good?
Yes.
So what are some everyday examples of technical writing that you've come across in your lives?
Maybe when we are going to prepare a recipe
Yes,
to cook.
I have that up there, but it's not my first bullet. Recipes, one. Another one, think along the same lines.
Medicine?
Like directions on medicine bottles.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another good one. Didn't think of that one. So like directions.
A manual for customers. A manual for customers that they employ something new, they don't know how to use it.
Okay, like instructions. Yes. Can think of one more people probably kind of don't take advantage of. Ever been to a new place you've never gone, or tried to go to a place you've never been before?
Like directions.
Directions. Directions. So when you think about all of these things, put arts and crafts projects, but it's really not different from a recipe. Hi.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt your class, but I don't know if Priscilla told you that this weekend, when you go out the pod and go that way, there's a stairway that goes
Okay.
the north on the east side of the building.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Susan, isn't it?
Yeah,
Susan?
where do I know you from?
History department.
What's your name?
Carlyn.
That's right, how are you? Yes, we had Yazawa together.
Yes, we did. He was
You
your
know,
favorite.
I have two masters, and one was in early modern, so I just changed my PhD.
Oh, okay.
So I'm working with Caleb now.
Sweet. Good luck with that.
I'm taking my class. Are you like an adjutant?
No, I'm still saving my comps limbo too. But
Okay.
good catching up with you, Susan. Take care. Subject of technical writing. So you think about all of these examples, yeah, you get straightforward commands like do this, stir this, turn left, right? So what you're doing is not along the same lines, other than we did this and then we did that. But you should be thinking about how to frame your project or frame your information just as concisely, right?